Alright guys, so now let's get started up on making the tail lights. Before we actually get to the tail lights, I want us to fix something on the headlights and some piece we missed, and we are going to create that right now before I move on to the tail lights. So I'm going to use about 5 minutes to do this, hopefully not more than 5. So let's change this image real quick. I want to open up this image right here. Now if you take a look at the headlights, you can see it's pretty slanted, whereas in our own, if I go into front view, you can see it's pretty straight. Alright, so we want to slant this a little bit. Now before we do that, let me just press Alt and H to bring everything back. Let me take this one and hide it. Let me go into wireframe. So I want to select all of these over here, and we're going to make this the active element. So let's go into edit mode, and that goes into edit mode of all of those objects. And let's change to face select mode. Alright, so we're going to make this face the active element, and I'm going to change the pivoting point to active element and the orientation to normal. Alright, so once we do that, we're going to go over to the front view, and we're going to go into wireframe. Alright, so this is where we want to slant this. So I'm going to press R, and I'm going to press Z after that, and I'm going to rotate this and then slant it, R and then Z, and I'm going to rotate this and then slant it to kind of follow the angle that was seen in the reference image. So that might be too much. Let me just move it to about here, like this. So yeah, that is good, I'm pretty sure. Now let's press Alt and H to bring this back, and let's hide this and let's see how this looks. Alright, much better. So you can see it's looking like what we have in the reference image now, and much closely, that looks even better. Alright, now the last thing that I want us to do is this piece over here. As you can see, there's two of them. We're going to make that right now. So let's go over to this side, and let me see. Let me take these three faces, and I'm going to press Shift and S and choose cursor to select it. Or let me take these two vertices instead. Press Shift and S and choose cursor to select it. Now I'm gonna, let's create this as a separate piece first, or let's get to the side view, and let's add in a mesh circle. Let's change the number of vertices to 10. So type in 10 in the area here, and come on, let's go into edit mode and scale this down. Alright, so I'm going to change the orientation back to global because I don't want it to be normal, and I'm going to move this in the x-axis way beyond our surface like that. So let's see, the size should be about right. Let me take a look. So we want this to go down, so I'm just taking a look at the reference image just to see how big I want this to be. Let me pull this down a little bit, and I think about that big is quite good. So we're going to keep it about that big. Yeah, that should be good. So let me just scale it up just a little bit more. And now I'm going to press F to fill this, and I'm going to press I to insert the faces. So about here, let me zoom in. There we go. So I'm going to press I to insert the faces to about somewhere here, like this. And I'm going to press I again to insert it to about here, like this. So I'm going to go over here, I'm going to press Ctrl and R through here, and I'm going to pull this up right here like this. And I'm also going to press S and then Shift and X, and I'm going to scale this, or let me press Alt and S instead, and then let me scale it out like that. Alright, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in a subdivision surface at level 2, or maybe level 1. Let's keep it at level 1. Alright, so I'm going to click on Object and select Shade Smooth. Let's take a look at how this looks. Alright, it's looking good so far. So let's get over here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to press, let me just press F over here, and I'm going to press I to insert the faces a little bit like this. I'm going to pull it in the x-axis like that, and I'm going to insert it again, and I'll insert it one more time, and delete the faces like that. Alright, so I think that is looking quite good. Now what I'm going to do is let me take this one, let me see if I can pull it in the x-axis just a little bit. Alright, that is looking good. Now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to get the face in the middle here. Sorry. And let me see. So I'm going to press E, and I'm going to extrude this forward just a little bit like this to about this point. Let me get to this side. Yeah, so to about this point. And I'm going to insert the face in again like this, and I'm going to pull it up in the x-axis just a little bit like that, and I'm going to press E again, and then extrude this forward to about some point like that. I think it should be good. Now let me press Ctrl and R3 and add one in close to this area. Let me take this too, let me move it up just a little bit. Now let me press Ctrl and R3 here, add one close to this, and add one close to this. Alright, nice. I'm going to add one close to this one as well. And that is looking good. So let me take this one, I'm going to press I to insert the faces, like this. And I'm going to move it in the x-axis like that. I'm going to press Ctrl and R and pull this up to this point. Let me take this and move it in the x-axis a little bit more. And nice. So you can see that it's looking more like it, but I think this is coming out too far. So let's pull it in a little bit to about here. And there we go. Now that is looking much better. Alright, so all that we're going to do now is we're going to take this and let me see. Let's pull it in the x-axis all the way here. And I'm going to move over here. I want to rotate it in the z-axis like that. Let me pull it in the x-axis some more. Like this. And let me rotate this. Let me change the orientation to normal. That way we can have a fine way of rotating this. Now I'm going to rotate it in the x-axis. Just press R and X. And let's get over here, R and Z. No, R and Y instead. And let's rotate this out to about here. And yeah, quite good. So I'm going to pull it in the x-axis out. Let's go all around and see. Alright, I'm going to press R and then X, and I'm going to rotate this like that. Let me take a look. Let me rotate it some more. R and X. Let me pull it out like that. Let's rotate it a little bit more. R and X like this, and that is good. Now I'm going to press R and Z, no, R and Y, and I'm going to rotate it here as well. Okay, so I think we can get a look over here. There we go. So let me just pull it in the z-axis like that. Rotate it in the y-axis like so. Let's pull it out some more. Rotate it in the y-axis like that. And I think that is pretty much it. There we go. So you can see it's looking exactly like what we have in the reference image. Exactly like it. So what I'm going to do right, I'm going to take this one. I'm going to press Ctrl and A and apply the location, and I'm going to apply the rotation and scale. So now let's add in a mirror modifier. Let's move this above here, and that should mirror very nicely to the other side. And there we go. So that was all I was looking to add in on that side, and as you can see, it's looking really good. Alright, so that about does it for that. That was all I wanted to fix in that area. Now let's move on to the tail lights and let's start working on this. Let me change this image again. And again, these images will be in the links to these images will be in the description for you guys to download. So just look in the description and then click on the link to, take you to the image and then download it. So let's take this one right here, this piece right here, and let's go over to local view. Let me go into edit mode. I'm going to take this one. Let me press the period to zoom into that area. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take, let me see. I'm going to take this piece here, all of these pieces around here, that goes all the way through this side, including the one here, from here to there, and let me see, I'm going to deselect these ones, hold up, I'm going to deselect these ones, like that, and what we're going to do is we're going to press Shift and D, I don't know, let me see, first of all, I'm going to take it along with these ones over here. So these ones as well, all the way to there. And now let's press Shift and D to duplicate this. And then press P to separate the selection. Now let's take this one, let's go into edit mode. Alright, so we're going to take 1, 2, 3, 4 and press F. And I'm going to take these two and press F all the way through to that side and then through to this side. And I'm going to press F over here. Let me see, what I'm going to do with this area. Let me take these two. Alright, I'm going to press F on those. And I'm going to take all of these, press X and delete it. Now let me take these two and pull it. Let me change the orientation back to global. Let me pull this in the x-axis to about here. Because you can see right here, it's just a tiny bit of edge over there. Like that. So I'm going to take, let me see, 1, 2. I'll press F on that. And I'm going to add in one over here. Let me move it up like that. I'm going to add in one over here as well. Let me move it down like that. And let me take 1, 2, 3, hold on, 2, 3, 4, and press F, and then 2, 3, 4, and press F. Now let me add one in here, move it up here, do the same thing over here, move it down here, take these 4, press F, and take these 4, and press F, and take these 2, and press F once. Alright, so that is the first stage, not too difficult. Now what I want to do is, let me get over here, right? I'm going to take these 4 and press F, and I'm going to take these 2 and press F all the way to here. So that is looking good. Now I'm going to take these 2 and press F once right here as well. And let me just press Ctrl and R3 here, add in a loop cut and pull it up here. So I'm going to take these 2 and press F once, move it down here, just slide this down a little bit like this, and let me see. I'm going to press Ctrl and R3 here, move this down here. Let me take these 2 and press F. Let me move over here. Let me take this, alright? Let's leave this. Drag it down a little bit and leave this. Let's drag that down. Alright, so I'll take these 2 and press F like that. And now I'm going to add in 2 in the middle here, like this. Let me take this, pull it up, take that, pull that down. And I'm going to take these 2 and press F and fill all of those faces in like that. Alright, so that is looking good. Now one final thing we're going to do, let me just click on this and select Shade Smooth. One final thing we're going to do is we're going to take all of these faces here, all of these faces that go around here, all of these ones, and let me see. I don't know, maybe we should take all of the faces, like, okay, let's take everything and then let's press E and then extrude this in the y-axis, of course, and then pull it out to about this point. I'm trying to look at the thickness of the black area around it, and I think that is about the right thickness, yeah. So there we go. Now all that we're going to do now is, let me see, let's take all of these edges over here, all of these edges, including the ones here, and I'm going to press G twice, and let's move them down to about here, like this. Alright, now the ones here might actually have slided in too much. So first of all, let me make sure the angle is pretty good. So let me add in a loop cut through here. First, let's add it to the back, like this, and let's add one on this side. And let's take a look at the angle. So is the angle good enough? Pretty sure it is. I'm not so sure, but yeah. Let's just take a look at, let me get over to the back view. Let me take a look at this. Alright, let's just move it a little bit more. So we're just going to move it a little bit more. So just press G twice and then pull it in just a little bit more, like that. Let me take a look. I'm going to pull it in the y-axis backwards. It has to be including the ones in the middle. So let's pull them in the y-axis backwards. So G and then Y. And then let's pull it backwards to about there. I think that should be good. Let me pull it forward just a little bit. And now let's take a look at this side. Alright, now this side, let me take this vertex here and make it the active element. And I'm gonna press, let me get over to the top view. Alright, so you can see what I mean. You can see it's pretty slanted too much. So we're gonna press S and then X, and we're gonna scale this out to about here. I think that should be good. Let me scale it again, like that. And that should be good. So let me press Ctrl and R through here, press E, and then F, and then let me pull that close into the side. And then over here, press E, and then let me pull that back close to the one at the back. And you can see that is looking good already. Alright, so what I'm going to do is, let me hide this, and let me take all of these and hide it. Now, I'm going to take, let me see. I'm going to take all of the ones here, these ones, and let's press I to insert the faces, okay? A little bit like that, all around it. And I'm going to press X and delete the faces. We don't need those. So let me press Alt and H to bring everything back. and let me see. Let me hide these again. I'm gonna press Ctrl and R. Sorry. I'm gonna press Ctrl and R3 here. Nope. Here. Left click and then pull it close to the one up here. So press E and then F. Now let's just move it normal. Let's just drag it normally to the top. So don't align it with any side. Now press Alt and H to bring everything back, and you can see what we have. Now one more thing we have to do is we're gonna take this one, that vertex over there, and we're gonna move down here. Hold on Control and Shift, and then left click on this side. Is it Control and Shift? Yeah. So hold on Control and Shift and select all of those. Now we have to select the ones down here as well. Hold on Control and Shift and select it all. So that should select all of those surfaces, the one on the very surface like that. And then we're going to press I to insert the faces. So just press I to insert the faces just a little bit like that, just to give it some sharpness like that. So that is the first step. As you can see, it is looking good. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create the light, the glass of the light, and then we're going to move on and create whatever is on the inside in another part. So let's get on with this. Let me see. I'm gonna take all of these edges that go around here. All of these edges, the one that go around it like that. And let me see. I'm gonna press Shift and D to duplicate it, and then P to separate the selection. Now let's take it and let me see. What are we gonna do? Alright, so we have a space in the middle, alright? We have a space in the middle, so let's go to Global View and see if we can see this in the blueprint. Sorry about that. And you can see it's in the blueprint. So here's what we're going to do instead. I'm going to take all of those, press Ctrl and I, and hide everything else. And the blueprint should still be there. Alright, so let's select that vertex edge that we duplicated. And let's get onto the back. And let's see. This is where we want this to be. So let's just make sure we get it right. So first thing I'm going to do is, let me just press B with this vertex over here. I'm going to keep it right here. And I'm going to keep this over here, but I'm going to slide this one up a little bit to about here. And that should be good. Alright, so I think it's about, let me check the time. What time is it? I can't see the time, but it's about 3 a.m. here, and as you can hear, the clocks are crowing, so sorry about that. We just have to move on with this. So as I was saying, just slide this up to here, and you can see it's falling on the line very nicely, and this one too is falling on the line very nicely. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take this and then that one, press S and Z and type in 0, and I'm going to do the same thing with this. But first, let's slide this up just a little bit. Alright, and then let's take this one and then that one again, press S and then Z and type in 0. And I'm going to do the same thing with this. Take this, take that, S and Z, type in 0, like that. Alright, so that is looking good. Now, what are we going to do next? Let me get onto the back again. I'm going to wireframe. We need a set of edges here, vertices here. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to add in one in here and another one in here. And we're going to press B. Let's see where this falls. So I'm going to move it in the y-axis just a little bit. And I'm going to press S and then X and type in 0. Just so they're on the same level, like that. Alright, that is good. What are we going to do next? Let me take these two, and I'm going to press E and extrude this. Let me see. Now let's undo that. And here's what we're going to do instead. Let's take all of these, okay? Let's get onto the side. What the hell? Alright, so I'm going to press E and then Y. We're going to extrude this to about this point right here. Not too much, just a little bit like that. And let's change the pivoting point to median point like this. And let me get onto the back. Let me go into wireframe. Alright, so we're going to scale this down like this. About that amount. I'm not sure. Let me scale it in the z-axis as well. So I'm going to scale it in the z-axis as well. Like that. As you can see, just like in the reference image. Let me just pull this back in the y-axis just a little bit more. Alright, good. We just have to, let me move this side in the x-axis like this. Let me move it in the x-axis a little bit more. And nice. So that is looking good. Alright, so what we're going to do next is we're going to press F to fill in the face. And we're going to press I to insert the faces. I don't know if that is inserting right, but I don't think it is. Okay, so let's undo that. And let me see. How are we going to do this? Okay. Here's what we're going to do. Let's take these four, alright? And then let's press F. And then let's take these two and press F all the way to here, like this. And let's take these two as well. And let's press F twice, I think. Yeah. And what else? Let me see. Okay. Okay, let me add one in here as well. Pull it about here. And let me take this, change the pivoting point back to active element, press S and Z and type in 0. Let me add one over here as well. Take this S and Z, type in 0, like that. And that should be looking good. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is, let me take everything, let me press Shift and N to recalculate the normals. And what am I going to do next? Let me see. Alright, so let's get rid of this loop cut. I'm not sure. You know, not that one, the one below it instead. So let's get rid of the loop cut below it. I'm just going to edit mode. I want to get rid of this one instead. So just dissolve that edge. And let's do the same thing down here. Dissolve this. So what we're going to do next is we're going to press Ctrl and R through here. And leave it right over here. Press 1 through here and leave it here. Let's take these two and press F all the way down. And we're going to do the same thing here. Press F all the way there. Nice. So that is looking good. Now what we're going to do next is, let me see. We're going to take that vertex over here. And we're going to hold down Ctrl and Shift and select this one to, select all those vertices. I'm going to press I to insert the face, just a little bit like that. And press I again to insert it one more time, like that. Let's take a look. Alright, not bad, but we're just going to have to move things around a little bit, as you can see over here. Let me get over here, let me dress this up first. So I'm going to press G twice, and I'm going to move this down to here. Now let's take a look down here as well. Press G twice and move that up. Alright, so let me just click on Object and select Shade Smooths. Alright, that is looking good. Now all that I'm going to do is to fix this area. So I'm going to take all of this, I'm going to move it in the Y axis like that. I don't know if that is a good idea, but just in case it's not, let's save first. So I'm going to save this over before we do this. Alright, let me take all of these now. Now let's pull it in the Y axis as well, like that. And I'm going to do the same with this, pull it in the Y axis. Let me get into the side view, so we know they are pretty straight up and down. Let me take all of these, pull it out to there, and then finally all of that, and pull it out to there. Alright, so not bad. It's actually looking great. Alright, that is the first step. Now the second one, what we're going to do is to create that hole in the middle here. I'm pretty sure this is looking good, no flaws or anything. Nope, we're good. So let me go into edit mode. Now we're going to create that hole in the middle. And we're going to get into back view. I'm going to see how I'm going to create this. So first of all, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take this one right here. I'm going to press G twice and slide it forward to about this point. I don't know if that is enough. Well, let me just press G twice and slide it some more. So I'm going to take these two, press S and then X, and type in 0, just so they're flat on all sides like that. Alright, so that is good. Let me get in there again. And let me see. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to take this. Let's take all of these, okay? Besides these ones. And let's press G twice. And let's move it up to about here. Let's do the same thing here. Besides those ones, I want to press G twice and move it down to about here. Now I'm going to take this one again. This one. I'm going to press G twice and move it here. Let's take both of those, press S and then X, and type in 0. Alright, so that is looking good. So now I want to take this one as well. Press G twice, or maybe I should take this instead. Press G twice and move it back to about here, like this. And I'm going to take the faces from here, from here, all the way to, I think, here. Let me get to the back view. Yeah, so those are the ones. And we're going to press I to insert in the faces. So I'm going to set it to 4 right on top of the blueprint like that, as you can see. And I'm going to press X to delete the faces, like that. Alright, so that is looking good. But we just have to fix the area here a little bit to make it look more sharp. So let me get onto the back view. I'm going to press Ctrl and R3 here. Press E, and then align it with that side and pull it back here like this. Do the same thing here, press E, align it with that side, pull it back here like this. And I'm going to put 2 in the middle here, just like that. And nice. So I'm going to pull these ones back a little bit because I think they're too close. Let me see the roundedness. Alright, good. So this area as well, let me just press Ctrl and R. I'm going to edit mode, press Ctrl and R. I'm just going to add 1 in the middle there. Alright, very nice. That's looking good. Alright, so all I want to do now is, let me see. I want to take all of these and let me just press E. Let me press F and I want to press E and extrude this inwards. So press F first before you press E to extrude it inwards like that. And let's press X and delete the faces. Now I'm going to take all of those edges. I'm going to press G twice, move it forward, and I'm going to press C. And I'm going to move this in to about this point. Like that. So that is looking good. That is looking good. Now all that I'm going to do now is I'm going to press, let me see. I don't know if that is deep enough. Let me take a look. Okay, so it's almost eating through the surface behind it. So let me just pull it out a little bit more. So I'm gonna press G twice, and I'm gonna pull it out to about here, to about somewhere here like this. And let me see. Let me just press F to fill in the faces, and I'm gonna press I to insert it, just a little bit like that. And I'm gonna press X to delete the faces, and I'm gonna dissolve the edge in the middle there, like that. I don't know if that is enough, but I think it might be. Yeah, so that is looking great. Let's take this one, let's select everything, press Shift and N to recalculate the normals. As you can see, it wasn't recalculated before. Alright, nice. So, I think that will be where the main glass ends, I'm pretty sure. So let me see, let me take a look. Yeah, so that'll be pretty much where it ends. What I'm going to do now is to add in a solidify to this. So let me first of all press Ctrl and R3 here. I don't know if that is a good idea, but I'm just adding a loop cut, a supporting loop cut in the middle there, just to support that area very nicely. And as you can see, that is looking good. Alright, so I think I'll keep it at subdivision surface level 1. And that is looking great. Alright, so let's add in our Solidify Modifier now. So I'm gonna take this, press Control, or let me press Division sign to go into local view. And let's add in what do you call it? Let's remove the shrink wrap and let's add in a Solidify Modifier. Let's also remove the bevel modifier. We don't need that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop this. Let me first of all press Ctrl A and apply rotation and scale and apply location. So we're going to drop the thickness down to 0.001. I think that is too small. But before we do anything else, let's go in here and let's press Ctrl and R, press E, and then let's align it with the outer side and pull it very close to it like that. Now let's zoom into that area again. And let's see the thickness. I don't think that is big enough. So let's try 0.005. Okay, that is too big. That is way too big. Let's try 2.5. And I think 2.5 is pretty much what we're going for, but I'm going to go with 0.02. So I think 0.002 should be what we're looking for, and that is what I want to go with. So I'm going to move over here as well. I'm going to press Ctrl and R through here, press E, and I'm going to move it very close to the outer side, like that. Just to add in that area very nicely. Alright, so there we go. Let's press the division sign to get back to global view, and you can see what we have going on. Very nice. So that is just stage 1. I'm going to end the video here. In the next part, we'll be making the lights in the middle and making everything look good. So I'll see you guys in the next video.